I wanted to read this from Tosha Silver's book, Change Me Prayers, The Hidden Powers of Spiritual Surrender. And people talk about the law of attraction, and she said this is what she has come to understand as the stages of spiritual progression. Initially, stage 1, you feel depressed and powerless from a culture that teaches fear, shame, and self-reproach. Basically, something starts shifting in you. Then you become excited, discovering this law, and making heartfelt lists of all your burning desires. How wonderful life would be once this all comes true. Then stage 3, the tendency to try to manifest becomes all-consuming. Some wishes hatch, while others do not. She talks about the laws of karma. They coexist with the law of attraction. There are certain spiritual laws. Not all options are actually open at a given time. A crossroad is reached. Realizing that this world is more than a wish-fulfilling tree, you may become bitter or despairing. I worked so hard trying to get this and it still didn't happen. But if you are sufficiently exhausted or desperate. In that stage 4, something big happens. An intense longing arises to invite the divine. You can call the divine whatever you want. You might not even have a name for it. It's this part of you that finally lets go, creates an opening. Weary of chasing and suffering, you radically crack open to another way. Whether you have a way to define that or not. This is a profound and holy moment, she says. Stage 5, you begin to see that holding a high vibration aligned with the divine, or maybe what we call the flow or the universe, lets everything happen in a spontaneous way. Trying to manifest feels like an unnecessary burden. You're forcing, you're pushing, right? You start noticing the difference between the two. Desires are offered for the highest good for everyone, including yourself, rather than grasping or clutching at something, and a sense of peace is often what people talk about as spiritual detaching, and not detaching from the heart, but detaching from the outcome, allowing for all more options to kind of move and come together in the most loving way. Stage 6, alignment with the divine slowly deepens. Miracles accelerate. Everything begins to happen through you rather than by you. The pushing ego way is no longer needed. Trust increases that the universe, or whatever you define as something that's holding it all together, including the part of you, right, that is part of that, actually knows what it's doing, has your back, loves you madly. The part of you that's wise beyond this part of the brain that has to push. Stage 7, you discover that some of those strongest desires that you originally had were actually the divine plan after all. Surprise, surprise. And the ones that weren't are no longer wished for anyway. God, or however you define that, just wanted you to relax, surrender, and receive. Option but lucky. Stage 8, you fall madly in love with the divine and begin to want only what it wants. In the prayer. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can rest in your arms. Let me offer my deepest desires to you, to be shown your will. Drench me in your love. Make me your servant. Guide my way.